Welcome to the Pistol midweek mental break.
All right. Mark, you're the greatest announcer ever. I love it.
I used to sell cars, man. I used to sell
That
cars.
should be your next job.
This guy's a used car salesman.
No
I
way.
used
You
to
should be on the
Buy
news.
this piece of
I
shit
used to.
car for me.
He's
All
a
right.
a journalist in the making.
So we are doing something new where we're going to be posting something midweek about the previous week's current events. Right.
Yes.
And this week is suicide. New York City police officer took his life.
Another one.
Another one. Ninth, right?
Ninth this year. That we know that are documented.
Right.
Right.
So, Josh, you brought to our attention the sister had quoted something. What did the sister say about this officer who was struggling?
That she had reported him to the department, and they had, weeks before, they had actually raided his home, I think is what the article said, and taken his gun and sent him in for an eval.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was hoarding? Because he was...
I think she had complained that he was suicidal. He was a danger to himself and others. So she continued to tell the department and wanted them to step in and do something. So they raided the home, and then she was upset that she said, yeah, he was hoarding. You couldn't go in certain rooms of the house. It was trash everywhere. And they were just in the home, and that didn't raise a flag to anyone. They sent him to the doctor. Doctor gave him the okay, so they gave him the gun back.
They gave him his
Oh,
back.
no way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think I read it a little bit too, and she was saying that for years, like she's been reporting to them, like going to them, asking for them to help him.
Wow.
So it wasn't like just
He had
happened.
his partner killed himself the month before, right?
Right,
June?
in June.
Okay.
Wow.
So, Mark, we'll start with you. Suicidal.
Yes.
Did you wake up suicidal, or would you say it was more reckless suicidal?
What do you mean by that?
Well, Veronica
Like,
and I have talked about...
When did I first have suicidal as a
Well,
thought?
Veronica and I had talked about... See, I was reckless. Like, I would just...
He did stupid shit.
Yeah, I would do stupid shit. I would send my backup to the west side of town. Like, if they called and said, where's the suspect? I'm like...
Oh, yeah. I get what you're
I'm
saying.
going this way.
Yeah, I was
you go
rushing
that
into
way.
calls, and I took everything out of my vest, and I was just wearing the bags.
Okay, but did you actively consider suicide?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was something
But
you
first, I
considered.
wanted to go out on duty. I was like, I'm going to go get
Why
killed.
on duty?
Oh.
Because I was so... so I'm telling you this like way down the line. This was 5 months into my thing. And a couple of the officers caught me on it. They're like, hey, where's your vest?
No.
I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot my panels.
So you were
They're
just rolling around with no vest on?
No, I had the carrier on.
No
Just
panels.
But
the
nothing inside of it.
panels,
All right.
yeah.
And I mean, you can tell. I mean, look how big I am. You're thinking I'm wearing a vest right now,
It's
but
like
I'm
me
not.
standing next to Josh.
Exactly. Exactly.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they're like, what's wrong with Paperboy over here? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I was doing that. I was rushing into calls, not waiting for backup, those kind of things, which and going out on foot patrol a lot.
On your own time, though, when you
I'm
weren't
not-
at work, were
no,
you
no.
thinking suicide or planning anything?
Yeah, so as I progressed from August to about January, then my sleep was getting cut shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, and I was going, cutting down to like 2 hours of sleep a night, sometimes an hour, sometimes 40 minutes, getting up, throwing up, all kinds of stuff like that. So as I progressed and the snowball was going downhill, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, then I was blacking out. And as I told you guys before, at one point, I had so much pressure in my head that I was like, man, I got to get this pressure out of my face. And so I consider that my first suicide attempt.
Right. Veronica, were you suicidal at all?
I don't know that I ever had a plan for it, but I definitely had. I remember waking up on the bathroom floor multiple times, like crying and just thinking. I have small children, so I had kids from 3 or 4 years old to high school age at the time. And I just remember feeling like I was worthless as a parent because I was such a shitty mom, because everything hurt so bad that I couldn't function as a mom for them the way that I had before. And I felt ineffective at work because I just felt like a shitty person all the time. that I just remember laying there thinking, like, I'm so worthless now. It's better for everybody if I'm not around anymore.
So were you reckless or were you suicidal? Like, did you actually think to yourself, I'm going to take my life?
I never, like I said, I never actually had a plan on how I would or how to do anything like that. I just always thought it was the best thing for everybody
not be here.
to not be here anymore.
Right.
Yeah. And on calls and stuff, I don't think that I was any more reckless. I remember being angry and shorter with people, and like I always wanted someone to fight. So I had a great career prior too. Like nobody ever wanted to fight me. It was never like that for me. But I remember like my last year at work just always like getting in people's faces, trying to agitate them enough that they would do something to me so I could justly,
the shit out of 'em.
Yes, I could justly do something
Right.
back.
Josh, you ever suicidal?
Nope, I was just happy, happy to be alive.
Because you took the round
already
and
took the
survived.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so you
Isn't
weren't
that
ever-
bizarre? bizarre.
I don't think that I was suicidal. I was very reckless. It's homicidal, and I would call my backup off. And I figured if I was trained better than he was, I'd survive. He wouldn't. I don't know that I wanted to die, but I wanted the screams to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured if they got one, bad guys are lucky, right? They shoot over their shoulder. They hit us in the fucking dome.
They hit 4 of us
Right.
with 1 round.
And that was something that I struggled with because I didn't, and maybe, I've told the doctor before, I'm like, maybe I was the pussy and I couldn't pull the trigger on myself, but I was very reckless. Calling off my backup guy with a gun, dispatch kick it out. They say guy with a gun at, Center and Ingram. And I'd get there on scene and I'd say he went westbound when he really went eastbound so that I could meet him in the alley eastbound. And if he got one off on me and I wasn't around, at least it was in the line of duty, and my wife would get the benefits
Right.
of
And I think
me
that always
being
stuck
killed in
with
the
me
line of
too,
duty.
was knowing that my children wouldn't have my benefits if I had done anything to myself.
Yeah,
What-
because if
what's-
you're on duty, you don't get anything.
Well,
I
once
mean,
I was-
off duty, I
yeah.
should say.
Right.
Once I was off and once I had been let go from the department, then it was a real out plan. Like I went out in the desert. I took 2 bottles of medication and gutted them all and choked them down with
What did you want?
chocolate milk and
Yeah.
and Coors Light.
What did you,
Together?
Mark?
Gross.
What did
Today's
you,
podcast is brought to you by Coors Light.
Mark,
Gross.
what did you
Just kidding.
want? What did you want when you were talking about suicide? Did you just want to go away from everything? What did you want? The pressure to be relieved?
Yeah, the pain. I wanted that
The
pain
pain?
out, and I knew I didn't have enough strength for 1 more minute of it.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I can't handle what is pending. I know what another 24 hours is going to be. I can't make that 24 hours. And it hurts so bad. And it was physical pain. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do another 24 hours. I can't do another 25 minutes. And I ate all those pills and stuck my gun in my mouth and, started pulling on the trigger. And I was like, yeah, here goes. And just then, I peed myself. I was like, oh, hold on. Looks like it's time for a pee break. Potty
I'm gonna
time.
stop.
I did not have that
Whoa,
problem.
it's potty time. No,
So-
potty
No.
time, not party time.
So let me ask you.
And then, as I said, all right, now that you're a filthy mess, let's just get it over with. So I sent out a couple of goodbye text messages, and then, crying and everything, and started pulling the trigger. And when you mix all of that chemical
I know where this
with
is
chocolate
going.
milk, I knew I was going to get
You
an
gotta
upset
shit.
stomach. No, I knew I was going to get an upset stomach, which is why I went it down with chocolate milk. I said, that'll keep it down. But unfortunately, the 4 Coors Lights that I slammed, it was
Yeah.
like it looked like the when you throw Mentos into a bottle of Diet Coke. And I was like, and I just started.
You forgot to kill yourself.
Yeah,
after that.
no. I instinctively shoved to the side of the driver's side door of the truck and flung the door open so I wouldn't puke all over myself. And when I did, I was so overcome from the drugs that I fell out onto the desert. Bam, head first, and my feet are up in the truck. My face is down in the dirt, and I'm puking. And I'm like getting up out of there, trying to shove myself back. And I mean, I could not move my legs. My legs had been totally overcome by the dope. And I was just like, oh my God, I got to get out of here. So I was like, oh my gosh, where's my gun? Where's my gun? Now, and it's dark. And I can't see. Like my vision is like coming in. All the drugs are overtaking me. And I was like, man, I got to find this gun in this puke pile. And I'm smearing it around. And the weirdest thing, then I like, as I'm looking across the desert. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. And I see this flashlight. Ding, 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 ding. I was like, somebody is out here.
Just like that in that slur.
This ain't going to go right. This ain't going to go. Now I'm really scrambling. I got to find this gun and this puke really quick. Because whoever is running at me with the flashlight I'm totally vulnerable. So I'm like, I got to get that gun. I got to get that gun. So as it's getting closer to me, I'm like, I scream at it. And I said, hey! I don't know who you are, but I got a gun.
Who was it?
I don't know, but then the flashlight shut off. The flashlight shut off, and I said, now I don't know where he is. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm out here in the middle of Hillbilly Village. I said, I'm going to get kidnapped, tied up under somebody's waterbed, and be a white sex slave for the rest of my days. I was like, I got to get out of here. So I still never found the gun. I just crawled back up in my truck, started the truck, and I mean, my vision was so screwed up. I couldn't even see the end of my truck. I could just see the windshield.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I just stomped on the gas. And
You made it home, though.
boom. I was smashing into stuff, man. And
So
it's all in that book.
yeah. So
But-
Josh,
Yeah.
did you ever want the pain to go away? Like, did you think if I just off myself, I won't have any pain, physical pain?
No, the pain was, for me, was always worth the outcome.
Right. Well, he survived. Like,
This
not many
motherfucker-
officers can say,
I
you know,
know.
live to survive a bullet to their head area
Yeah,
anywhere.
But it's
So he's an
fucking shitty. I
anomaly.
think to myself, how are you not angry about it? You're in
Yeah,
physical
but he's so
pain.
grateful.
He
Like,
is
think
grateful.
about it. Most officers die if they're
Right.
shot in their face or their head. He's so grateful. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't have, like, our stupidity, like, oh, we're better off dead. Because
Yeah.
he's just thankful and
He's like, I
grateful.
took the round and I survived.
Right.
I should have been dead, and I wasn't. And
Yeah.
like I said, for the outcome, for both of us to walk away, was worth the pain.
Right.
Had I not shown up and he'd taken 6 rounds and never got a shot off, I'll take the pain
Right.
every day.
Do you ever have remorse that you didn't get a round off on that motherfucker?
Yeah, there's always
Yeah.
disappointment.
Do you
anger
have that?
There was no return, nothing from
Yeah,
me.
you didn't give
I didn't have the
give
chance
to him what he gave to you.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, this
How
is
do
the
we
first time-
put a positive spin on the end of this?
Well, we
Serious.
Hey.
first time we've done it, so
Yeah.
I'll post it midweek. But at the end of the day, you should not.
It's suicide
You
is
should-
never.
it's not
an
an
option.
option.
Not an option.
Not an option.
No way. Reach out no matter
Since-
where you are.
Since then, we have all had many beautiful experiences,
Right.
many
Yes.
beautiful days, seen
Yeah.
many beautiful things,
because
loved
it
many
gets
beautiful
it gets
people.
better. That moment of
Yeah.
laying on the bathroom floor crying
Yeah.
and feeling worthless.
Don't
and like
trade all of the beauty
Yeah.
of the future for
Right.
that moment of
It-
pain, because
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
moment of pain is not worth.
and
all
it
of
and it
that.
doesn't last forever.
No.
It doesn't last forever.
It is definitely a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
right.
And
I
it's
can
just
tell
a
you that
problem
for
you're
sure.
giving to someone else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Someone's going to
definitely-
find you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Partners,
person that
family.
finds you.
Yeah.
You're just going to cause them the same pain you're dealing
Right.
with.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're
All
All right.
escaping.
So this will be the first time we put it out. I appreciate you guys coming out, as always.
And our
Josh,
condolences to all the NYPD,
NYPD,
yes.
and
And their-
shout
everyone
out.
going through all the families and everything.
And all their coworkers.
we don't want to lose any more of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
No more. Reach out
No
if
more.
you need it,
Hug
You know
each
you got
other,
it, man.
man. There's
Yeah.
power in that hug.
Yep.
There ain't no
Call
doubt
us.
about it.
especially if Josh is hugging you.
Yeah.